So the rearranging part of the question, right? So rearrange the formula to make Q the subject. You remember how to transpose equations?
We're supposed to flip stuff?
Yeah, basic idea.
Yeah.
So in this case, you want to make Q the subject. So you could go ahead and
Copy down this.
yeah, copy it. Well, copy back the formula. I can write down what you're going to do, which is rearrange the formula to make Q the subject.
Okay.
When we're done with writing that down, I will stop sharing the screen here, and you could probably share on your side with the camera, turn on the camera, and we could do the working step by step as you move from the formula here until you get Q as the subject. All right, so let's just continue while here will come.
Okay, nice.
So we're going to start by writing back the formula we had, which would have been R. Yeah, good. So, all right, before we continue, make sure I put R is equal to that statement. So put the R equal to.
Sorry about this handwriting, but
That's all right. Trust me, when I do in live sessions, my handwritings be terrible. Oh my goodness. So R equal, it look like a little minus sign, but yeah, please look at dash. Good. So R is equal to 2p squared on Q minus 3. So the first thing is that since we want to get Q as a subject, here's what we need to do. You notice that we have Q in the denominator, right? We have Q minus 3, basically. So anytime we have things in the denominator, it means that division by that term. And in order to rearrange the equation so that we have Q as a subject, the first thing we need to do is get it out of the denominator. So you're going to multiply both sides of your equation by Q minus 3, since Q minus 3 is the denominator part of your equation. Right? So on the right-hand side, I want you to put multiply. So you're just moving a little to the right of the 2p squared, etc. Put a multiply sign.
Yeah, right here, right?
Like around there, put multiply. And now what you're going to do is put open bracket Q minus 3.
Oh.
So the reason why I do this is like, especially for people who now getting into the transposition, or in your case, refreshing your memory with it, it is good to do it step by step. All right, so since the thing that we're doing is multiplying both sides of the equation by Q minus 3, on the left-hand side where you have R by itself, I want you to just write multiplied by Q minus 3. So you might move a little further left of R, put Q minus 3 in the bracket, and then put the multiplication side
in front of it?
Yeah, like that. And then just put the multiplication. Nice. Look at that. Really good. So here's what we're doing now. You notice that on your right-hand side, Q minus 3 is your denominator. And like I said, we're multiplying by Q minus 3. So what happens there is that Q minus 3 we're multiplying by is going to cancel off with the Q minus 3 in the denominator. So just put a line through the Q minus 3's on the right-hand side.
I cancel it off.
So you can put a whole line through the whole bracket. On the Q minus 3, yeah. Put a whole line, right? And same thing in the denominator. Good. So in doing that, what do we remain with on the right-hand side?
Q minus 3 by R equals 2p squared.
P squared. Good. So in the next line, I want you to write that. So now you can write it neatly back in line.
Okay, nice.
All right. So from there, we're going to simplify. Now, the left-hand side needs a simplification because we want to get Q all by itself.
Right.
So what we're going to do is multiply the bracket by R. So you remember distributive law?
No.
Not really? Okay. So side note, distributive law. So you could probably write in the next line, apply distributive law.
Okay. Underneath, right? Underneath?
Yeah. So you're going to write apply distributive law, and we're going to write down the distributive law after that. All right, so applying distributive law. So what you're going to write for me, so next to apply distributive law, put a colon. And you're going to write lowercase letters. You're going to write lowercase a, and then open a bracket and put b plus c in the bracket. Right. So I wonder if that look a little familiar to you.
No, yeah.
Okay, so put equal. Now, what this law tells us is that everything in that bracket is going to be multiplied by a. So what we're going to do is multiply everything inside the bracket by a. So the first thing in the bracket is b. So we're going to multiply a by b, and we will get ab. All right, so you're going to put equal ab. So you have the equal sign. You're going to write ab now. Plus a multiplied by c, which will give me ac. So plus ac.
Put it in brackets.
You can take off the multiplication sign, so you could just write like how you write AB. You could just write AC.
Oh, I thought you wanted to write like that. Nice.
Right. So this is your distributive law. So always remember, distributive law tells you that if you are multiplying something in brackets, whatever is being multiplied by, that will be the common factor for each of the terms that you multiply in your bracket. So you notice in the expansion, you have a in the two terms.
Yeah.
Right. So everything that was inside the bracket, which was b and c, got multiplied by a. All right. So we're going to apply the distributive law to the problem that we're dealing with right now. So the problem we're dealing with right now, it's not looking exactly like that, a into b plus c, but you could see the similarity because you have a bracket, you have terms in a bracket, and then you have a term outside of the bracket. So next line you could rewrite it and put the r first. So put r and then open bracket q minus 3 close bracket.
Okay. R open brackets q minus 3 and then put it equal 2p squared.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. So from there now, you're going to do the distributive law part of things on the left-hand side. So you're going to multiply everything in the bracket by what is outside of the bracket. So we have r outside of the bracket, and we have q minus 3 inside of the bracket. So in the next line, you're going to do the multiplication. So it's going to be r by q.
So put RQ. Or
Right.
write RQ.
Yes, you could do that. Write RQ. Because we're doing the products, we want to get to solving. Good. So RQ. What do you think the other term will be if I multiply everything in the bracket by r?
R3, like minus R3.
Well, yeah, 3r.
3R.
Yeah. Right. And then just put equal to, and our right hand side remains the same. So equal to 2p squared. Nice. Now we want to solve for, we want to make who the subject? Q?
Yeah. R.
So
wait, not R?
Q.
Q.
Yeah, we had R before as the subject, so we want Q as the subject.
Right.
So what we're going to do here now, you notice that you have RQ minus 3R on the left-hand side. So what we'll do, since we want to get Q by itself, we have to add 3R to both sides of the equation. All right. So in the next line, you're going to write back the RQ minus 3R, but you're going to put plus 3R on the left-hand side. And then you're going to do the same thing on the right-hand side. You'll write equal to 2p squared plus 3R. And the reason for doing this is you want to eliminate that minus 3R, And there are two ways of interpreting the transposition. But one of the best ways is to remember that an equation is somewhat likened to a scale. So if I make one change on one side of the equation to balance it out, I must also make the same change on the other side. So in this case, because I want to cancel off that -3, I have to add +3 on the left-hand side. So I also have to add +3 on the right-hand side.
So we write 3r plus rq.
So you're going to write rq minus the 3r plus 3r.
rq minus 3r plus 3r.
Mm-hmm. On the right-hand side, put equal
2p squared.
Mm-hmm. You're going to put 2p squared, and then you're going to put plus 3r on that side as well, because remember, we're doing the same thing on both sides of the equation. So from here now, what I want you to do is look at your right-hand side, and you will notice that you have -3r plus 3r. So based on directed numbers, you should know that if we have -3 plus 3, the resultant will be 0. All right? So on the left-hand side, if we have rq minus 3r plus 3r, and just said -3r plus 3r are going to be 0, we'll boil down to just rq only, right? So on the left-hand side, write rq.
So all of that to just write rq.
Yes.
But yeah, understand. Equals 2p squared plus the 3r. Oh no, that was
2p squared plus 3r. Yeah, that's correct.
cool. Right. Nice.
All right, so the next part of things is just to solve for q itself. So notice we have the product rq on the left-hand side. So to solve this, what you're going to do is divide both sides of the equation by r. So I want you to put a division by r. So you're going to, like how you have at the top, you had 2p squared for q minus 3.
Right.
Right. You're going to do it like that. So yeah, rq over r, and then you're going to put 2p squared plus 3r over r on the right-hand side.
Like, p status wasn't looking familiar, but now it's looking familiar again.
Nice.
So, okay. Nice. Right, so then we divide on everything by r.
Good. So notice on the left-hand side, if you have a factor of r in the numerator and denominator, you can just cancel them off. So what would we remain with on the left-hand side?
2p squared plus 3.
On the right. I say right-hand side, left-hand side, I mean. Left-hand side.
Left.
Yeah.
Q. You'll be left
just
with Q.
Exactly. Right. So come down in the next line now and write that.
Q. Mm-hmm.
And all right, and in the next line, you don't need to do any simplification to the right-hand side, so you just rewrite 2p squared plus 3r over r, and we're done.
Wow, yay. Wow.
And that q is now the subject.
So I was supposed to like, as when I'm doing this question, right? I'm supposed to write all this?
No, you don't have to, but the steps were for you to just understand what is happening, because
Right.
Sometimes children make a few little mistakes here and there with the change sign thing. And through that process, you would get to understand what is happening in each step. So where you had multiplication, to undo multiplication, you have to divide. Where you had a division, to undo the division, you had to multiply. You had addition, to undo that, you would have to subtract. And if you had a subtraction, to undo that, you would have to add. With practice, with transpositions, you will get the hang of it, and you'll be able to do them much more easily.